The 2026 NBA draft featured 3 elite draft prospects. It was one of the most loaded classes that we have ever seen. With AJ Dybantsa and Darryn Peterson as well as Cameron Boozer, it begs the question of which of these players who would probably go first overall in any other year is going to have the best career, who is going to have the earliest impact. Today I'm going to be reacting to their landing spots, even though it was practically expected where they were going to end up going, and discussing who has the best runway to have a really early transformation for the franchise that they ended up with. Before we continue on, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and comment below which rookie are you the most bought in on to be successful early on in their careers. So right now, after the draft, the top 4 odds for Rookie of the Year in the NBA are as follows. And I found this kind of interesting. Cameron Boozer is at plus 275 at the highest odds. AJ Dybantsa, who was the first overall pick, is at plus 280. Darryn Peterson, who was the second overall pick, is at plus 300, and he is tied with Darius Acuff Jr. at plus 300. Now, I'm a very big fan of Darius Acuff Jr., and I've said this a lot. If Darius Acuff Jr., no matter where he goes, I'm going to root for him because he's just one of these players who, undersized for NBA standards, finds ways to win. He's very Jalen Brunson-ish. He's very Allen Iverson-ish, where he's small and shifty and great at creating for himself and also unbelievably good at shooting from deep range. I think that there's a real chance that Darius Acuff Jr. could be the guy who wins Rookie of the Year because he's going to be on a team where it's not very good. It's pretty aged. Russell Westbrook was still on this team. Like, it is an old team that could use a spark, and it feels like that there's a real strong chance that he gets handed the keys early and he just gets to go do everything because the Kings need attention. They need excitement. I'm hoping that comes to fruition because he could be that random player, not random, but that one player on a team that's not in the mix that people are talking about on social media. Did you see that Darius Acuff shot? Did you see that play? Did you see that he popped off for 30 points? I love Darius Acuff Jr. That being said, though, of the big 3, I'm wondering if Darryn Peterson, even if he doesn't win Rookie of the Year, it seems most likely that it probably goes to Dybantsa, maybe it goes to Acuff. Darryn Peterson is in the best situation right now to take his team to another level. Like, this Jazz roster is good enough theoretically to be a play-in team. I don't know if that's going to happen in year 1, but I think out of any of these 3 teams, if I were to pick the one that ends up going to the playoffs within the next 2 years, that has the quickest trajectory to start to turn upward and to become a competitive, young, plucky team in the West, I think it is going to be the Jazz. Because when I look at this roster with Keontae George, who is a really good productive player, Lauri Markkanen, who is a tremendous shooter, they added Jaren Jackson, who is an amazing defensive presence, who I think that him on this team now going forward is going to be super impactful. While there's not a lot of clarity on what's happening with Walker Kessler because there's a possibility that he gets enticed to leave in free agency, Walker Kessler is still, considering how highly sought after he could be as a center for a contending team, if he comes back, this starting 5 with Darryn Peterson in it looks really good. It looks really, really competitive. They look explosive. They look fun. And not to mention the fact that last year, Ace Bailey, as a rookie, was decent, but had the tools. If it wasn't for his weird pre-draft process, I wonder if he would have gotten picked earlier. I feel like Ace Bailey has a chance to continue to evolve and to grow with this team, and maybe theoretically things don't totally work out. Maybe he becomes a trade chip down the line in the next couple of years that they use him to go and bring in a veteran. But this Jazz roster has the most to be capably good in the next 2 years. While I think a lot of people would argue, and the second team for me, player for me in this conversation would be Dybantsa, turning this Wizards team into a competitive roster, a lot of people would try to make the argument for the Wizards that they should be at the top of this list. I think that the one thing that benefits, especially for the Wizards, that they're in the East, and the back end of the East right now is quite thin. Miami just got a lot stronger, but with a team like the 76ers dealing with their roster completely aging out and being so decrepit and incapable of being healthy, with the back end of the East being as thin as it is, it seems like we have more of a chance that the Wizards could be a playoff team in the near future because they have Trae Young. When he's healthy and when he's been at his best, he has been an all-star. He has been a really, really good player, a really dynamic scorer. Which version of Trae Young is going to be on this Wizards team now that he's coming back? What version of Anthony Davis is there? Is he the same dude that he's been? Is Anthony Davis just going to continue to be the rest of his career in and out of the lineup with nagging injuries? That's why I can't commit to this Wizards squad, is that a healthy Trae Young, a healthy Anthony Davis with AJ Dybantsa as a possible primary scorer and Alex Sarr coming up. With all of those guys, you would expect this team to be quickly very, very good. But there's so many question marks that come with Trae Young and Anthony Davis that I have no idea how transformational that they can be if there's the same level of inconsistency that we got from them last year and that we've gotten from them recently. And then third, I don't think that the Grizzlies are going to be very good next year, nor do I think that they're going to be good in the near future. I mean, what the heck is Ja? What is happening with Ja? He has gotten worse on the court. His commitment and buy-in and focus has been abysmal. I think that the fact that you traded away Jaren Jackson and now the last remaining solid player in your team was Ja, it's going to be all Cameron Boozer. I like Zach Edey. I think that Zach Edey is an awesome big, but Cameron Boozer is going to be in a really brutal spot where he might have to do a lot. This Grizzlies team, when I was doing these notes, I knew that they weren't in great shape, but the shape that they're in is absolutely brutal. And it feels as though that this could be a multi-year rebuild going on in Memphis. Folks, do me a favor, comment below which team you think is going to become a playoff team the soonest of the three that we discussed. Hit the like button and subscribe. We'll talk to you later.